Busy day for the D.C. Council, but this is big news tonight. Hi, Nick.
It is really big news. Right now, Ward 8 in the District of Columbia does not have a representative on the council. D.C. Councilmember Trayon White walked into the council chambers. It had a courtroom feel to it, just like a hearing did last week when White went into the council to hear the evidence against him and present his own case. But today, he was just there to listen to his colleagues one by one, unanimously voting to kick him off the council just months after he was charged with a federal count of bribery. He sat in the public gallery. He did not sit next to his colleagues as he normally would. He was dressed in a suit and tie, very nicely dressed, but he sat there. He didn't say a single word, and he had no particular expression on his face, really. He was stone-faced throughout the entire proceeding. After the vote happened, he simply stood up, walked out, followed by a throng of supporters shouting questions at him. He didn't answer a single question. He just walked to his office and he shut the door. And that was the last we saw of Trayon White today.
Now that he's been, the expulsion vote has happened, what is the next step? Does he have to accept that action? Can he fight back? What happens next? And what happens for the people of Ward 8?
He can fight back. He can fight back in the courts, although that has not been successful so far. A group of Ward 8 supporters tried in court today to get this whole hearing canceled, to get this vote canceled. They were unsuccessful. A D.C. judge said that there was no jurisdiction there for the courts and that this was allowed to take place. So Trayon White can go to court. He can battle this. He can say that it was unjust. But in the end, Chairman Phil Mendelson, the D.C. Council chairman, said he doesn't think that any of that will be successful. The next steps will be D.C. holding a special election sometime in the near future. We don't know when that's going to happen yet. We don't know how much that's going to cost for the city. And here's the big question. Who's going to run in that election? Trayon White can run. Technically, Trayon White can run for the seat that he was just expelled from, because the only thing barring someone from sitting on the D.C. Council is if they were to be convicted of a felony. That hasn't happened to Trayon White. That's one of the arguments his attorney put forward as to why, in his opinion, Trayon White should not be expelled at this time. But his trial is set for January of 2026. There's a lot of time between now and then. Trayon White could run for the seat that he was just expelled from. He was asked that question multiple times today. Will you run in the election? Will you run? He didn't answer.
Yeah, and he just won re-election in November. Yeah. So the people did vote him in. Obviously, his council saw things differently and